Welcome to Paranormal Nightshift. Your fan story is told here. You know, I get dozens of these stories every week, and some of them you have to take with a grain of salt. But the people who send me these stories from law enforcement, well, they have everything to lose. Because law enforcement is just that. They're supposed to be the upholders of truth, a beacon of light in an otherwise dark world. So when they're telling me their paranormal story as well, we have to listen. This story is entitled The Tunnels. I'm a cop and I work in America's most haunted city. That's right, tunnels. See, I work in America's most haunted city. However, being law enforcement, I can't tell you where it is. But there's tunnels that run all throughout the city. In fact, most of the houses have basements with doors that lead into the tunnels. There's one city street that has a city-wide access tunnel, and a couple years back, the city decided to lock it and make sure nobody could go through. I had told for years, and everybody has, just board it up. People are going to cut the lock and go down there, and it's going to be a law enforcement nightmare. But I just work here, right? Nobody listens. So yes, there's lots of crime that happens throughout the tunnels, and most homeowners had made sure that all the doors in their basements have been locked. But we get calls for it all the time. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. Dispatch gives us a call saying, hey, somebody's claiming that they're hearing something in the tunnels. We need somebody to go open the lock and check it out. And of course, it's my turn. Now, I'll be honest. The tunnels have always given me the creeps. I don't like going down there. But we pull up on site, and sure enough, it sounds like somebody is being murdered, screaming for help, coming from the tunnels. Now, when I tell you these tunnels run through the city, they run through the city. It's like a maze that leads to nothingness. Nobody knows where to go. There's no map for it, and there's no light anymore either. Screams for help get louder and louder, and I call for backup, but this is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm going in. Now, my partner, he didn't have the same mentality I did. But the screams are getting louder and louder, and we have to go. All I'm hearing is screams. It sounds like somebody is just being attacked, and I have to help them. I turn my flashlight on, and we're going in. With our flashlights on, we're walking to maybe 300 yards when the screaming gets louder and louder. It's right on top of it. Whatever it is right next to us. And then it stops. No screaming at all. It's gone quiet. And our flashlights are cutting out. My partner and I tell each other to put our service weapons out. It's too dark. We're not going to be able to see anything. And if we do come across something, there's a better chance that we'll end up hurting each other than we would anything else. I pull my cell phone out. Now I only have that. With a cell phone flashlight light only, we continue to go further down into the tunnels. Now we have to try to find our way back and whatever else is going on. I'm very familiar with the city. I grew up here. So ideally, I kind of know where we're at. And I know that we're coming across a 5 points where all the tunnels kind of meet in this giant corridor. And the screaming starts again. Louder and louder. It starts again as we're in this wide open room with tunnels that just lead to the center of the room. It's loud. It's deafeningly loud. And it's right on top of us again. It sounds like somebody is being destroyed. But then it gets really weird. See, the screams turn into laughter? That's right. I know it's so cliche and it happens in every horror movie, but it sounds like somebody's laughing at us. It's so dark, we can't see anything. Honestly, it's two grown men holding hands in the middle of this room so that we know where each other are. And then I feel something grab my other hand. I understand that it is my job to protect and serve, but it is GTFO time. So we bolted. We're just running hand in hand, trying to get out of these tunnels. We finally, what feels like an hour of running, I'm exhausted. We get back to where we came in at. We got it figured out. But now there's so many other dispatchers and cops. Everybody's there because they hadn't heard from us. Our radio communication went out. As I'm standing outside, white as a ghost, trying to explain the situation to my patrol sergeant, we hear it again. The screaming from the tunnels. Judgment call time. And he says it's time for all of us to go in together. If something's down there, they're all hearing it, we have to go in. It looked like something out of a movie. We're all tactical up. We have squads walking the tunnels. And everybody hears it. Everybody hears it. But we've cleared the tunnels. We've gone through everywhere. We have 4 teams walking these tunnels. Nobody finds anything, but everybody hears it. Our whole shift stayed in those tunnels for 6 hours that night. We found nothing. Everybody had different locations. Everybody heard the same thing. At the end of shift, my commanding officer was doing paperwork. There was nothing else we could do. What do you write on this paperwork, he said. That we saw or that we heard a ghost? Nobody's gonna believe us. Let's just not talk about it. While I can't say it, it won't take long for people to understand where the most haunted city in America is and where the tunnels are. We still hear calls all the time. We get calls all the time. But from here on out, we don't go in unless there's a group of us. The tunnels were used during the Spanish flu as a way for the government to move the departed around without having the public see. They've always been a big issue for crime and other illegal activity. It's always been an issue. We know that things have happened down there. We've reported to things happening down there. But it sounds like, even with the tunnels closed, the action hadn't stopped. Well, brother, I love your story, and thank you for sharing. You definitely are getting a Paranormal Nightshift sticker sent your way. If you have a story, please send it to us here at Paranormal Nightshift. We hope you enjoy them.